Hey guys, it's Doug from Red Apple and Motor City Fireworks. How you doing? I am in our store here in Pahrump, Nevada. It's like 2 in the morning. What the heck am I doing here? I've been meaning to make a video for a while now and just been a little too crazy. Been receiving container shipments in over the past week. The store is loaded, even more than it was before. We have so much new stuff. I don't really know where to begin. I think my idea for this video was to show you all of the new canister shells that we just got in. So let's head over to the 60-gram section. We did a canister shell tour last year, got a lot of positive feedback on it, so we're gonna do another one right now. It's gonna consist of Diablo, American Super Shell, Quest shells, Executioner shells, Pro shells, Triumph shells, GeForce shells, UV shells set 1 and 2, Pagoda shells, HD shells, Aftermath shells, Reaper shells, Freedom shells, Smoke and Mirror, Echo in the Ear, and some other surprises along the way. So, let's get it started. Alright guys, first up are these Diablo shells. These, I won't lie, they're from last year, and this is the only shell on our shelf that didn't sell out, unfortunately. And I sort of understand why. The brakes are a little weaker than some of the other 60-gram shells, actually all of the other 60-gram shells that we carry, but it's all good because the package is really cool. And check out the really shiny, glittery shells. So if you come in the store, we can promise you a super clearance price on these non-sellers. However, right next door, the 5-inch American Super Shells from Black Label Big products there. These are actually 5-inch canister shells, super long, as you can see, longer than even the new Quest shells. And we shot these the other night. They hit super hard and they go really high. So if you like shells that have a lot of altitude, that's your winner right there. Personally, I like shells that don't go so high because I like to feel the break and feel the burst out of the shell. So the 5-inch American shell, that's something that goes really high, and the shells are massive. These Quest 24 4 and 3/4 inch canister shells, these are the Brothers 20th Anniversary Edition, as you can see by the shiny box. Very cool. They're a lot like the Smoke and Mirror shells, except a set of 24 instead of just 6 or I think at max 18. So those are really cool. You should check them out. Executioner Blood. These again are from Big Fireworks, brand new for 2015. The box on these is really heavy. Not as heavy as some of the other ones down the way here that we're gonna get to, but the effects look really cool. You can pause the video if you want to check those out. And normally a heavy box means more powder. More powder means more boom. So definitely check those out. Pro shells need no introduction, as I'm sure you're aware. This is one of the items that we constantly sell out of very early in our season every year. We can never have enough of these shells. They're always good. They've always been good. And there they are up there, right next to the HD shells. Kind of get an idea of how they come packed. They come packed with 4 fiberglass tubes and 6 assorted 60-gram canister shells, and that is the majority of the shells on the shelf here come with fiberglass tubes. We don't use the reinforced HDPE shells like those that come inside of the Excalibur shells, because we just found through my own personal testing and Mike, my brother, his personal testing, that if you fire a lot of shells repeatedly, the tube tends to get really hot, and hot leads to warping, and we don't like warped mortar tubes because that could lead to injury. So bottom line is we prefer fiberglass, and that's why we don't bring a shell into our store unless the tubes are fiberglass. And I will show you guys in just a minute here how you can identify fiberglass versus the HDPE. Okay? Alright, moving down the line here. This is our brand new 2015 limited edition Triumph canister shells. These are absolutely awesome. We shot them last night, fresh off the boat. Almost dropped some canister shells on my head. That would have been a fun video. Alright, so as you can see, these are 2015 limited edition, brand new packaging, enhanced effects. We took what we loved about the Triumph shells from last year and made them even better. They are super heavy. Hold on. Very heavy shells here. And to start our little explanation about how to identify what kind of tubes. You can see the color here and the thickness of the tube. You don't need a thick tube to have a very high quality fiberglass mortar tube, and we found the best quality tubes that we possibly could while we were in China, and these are them. So in all of the Red Apple tubes, all the Red Apple shell kits, you're gonna have the highest quality fiberglass tubes that we could find. Really sturdy, they don't flex at all. Pretty light, and then the base is something you want to keep an eye on. Very, very cool. And there are videos of all of these shells on our YouTube channel as well, so be sure to check those out. So those are the Triumph shells. Oh, and of course the distinction between all the different types of canister shells and other Red Apple products for that matter is that the Triumph canister shells, as you can see by our little key here, the Triumph shells have what we like to call professional effects. So they're a lot like the Pro shells in that you're gonna get the chrysanthemums, you're gonna get the brocades and the palms and the willows. And you're not gonna get super complicated effects. You're gonna get very simplistic but hard-hitting, solid effects. So they're Pro shells because if you need a particular effect and you don't want a lot of fluff, you just want the straight up hardcore effect, this is your choice. So you can pack it into your show and know exactly what effect you're gonna get out of these, okay? So there's Triumph. Now, long awaited, way overdue, these are our very own, brand new for 2015, GeForce 60 gram can shells. It's a thing of beauty. Alright, so these effects are indeed supercharged, which means they are maxed out, fully loaded. As you can see, 60 grams per shell, 1.75" by 4.38 inches is the shell size here, and that's by design. We don't like the bigger, personally I don't like the bigger 5-inch shells because they just shoot up too high, and I feel like you can't feel the effect as well as you can when the shell's a little shorter and they don't go up as high, and you're still gonna get the exact same amount of break. You're actually gonna get more break because you're not sacrificing the lift charge, which is the explosion that gets the shell out of the tube. You're not sacrificing that for the break charge like you are on a bigger shell. So a bigger shell is unnecessarily heavier, and so you need more powder to get it out of the tube, so you're losing your break charge. So I hope that makes sense. If not, just put a message below and I will be happy to write you a short article on how that works. Alright, so GeForce supercharged effects, very loud. They shoot up over 200 feet and the brakes are absolutely massive. These are actual images on all the Red Apple products. Any images that you see, right there, right here, those are actual effect images. So those are the actual shells going off. Very, very cool. Check those out. Next up, you are familiar with UV Set 1, okay? UV Set 1, these are the ones that this is our third season of selling the, what have now become notorious UV shells. They are super heavy. Oh man. And again, very, very awesome. UV, anywhere you see UV in the show, whether it's on a shell or a cake, UV means that the colors are all gonna be super, super bright neon colors. So the UV is meant to be an indicator for you that you're gonna get neon colors. Okay, here is UV shells set number 2. So we liked the set number 1 so much that we went back to the exact same factory and we said, hey guys, we need 24 new neon effects. And I gotta tell you, these are absolutely out of control effects. Things like multicolored peony with chrysanthemum, peony with bright strobe and chrysanthemum, fresh red palm with crackle, fresh red and sea blue with white strobe, a lot of strobes, a lot of neon colors, and they knock. I gotta tell you, both of these UVs, and in particular UV Set 2, super, super loud breaks. As many of you already know. This year, if you liked them last year, you're gonna love them this year, so be sure to pick them up. That's UV Set 1 and Set 2. And again, just to demonstrate type of tubes that we're using here. Boom, fiberglass. Same high quality fiberglass as you find in all the Red Apple products. Beautiful. And they are heavy, guys. And what we've tried to do on all of our shells, you'll find that we were able to put the effect description right on the shell, so you know what you're shooting. A lot of other shells don't tell you anything about the shell that you're shooting, so you have no idea what you're shooting, what you saw. This way you can sort of keep your box as a guide, and as you shoot them, you can know exactly what you're seeing. So if you like a particular effect, you can look for that effect in other shell kits, or let us know, and we will bring in a shell kit that has those effects. Alright, so those are the UVs. Moving on to the brand new 2015 limited edition Pagoda shells. If you didn't have these last year, you missed out, guys. But don't worry, they are back and better. We enhanced the effects. The thing with the Pagoda shells and all Pagoda products by Red Apple is that they're super complex effects. I'm not going to read all of these to you, but feel free to pause the video and read those. But compare the font size and the number of words in the description to something like the UV shells or the Triumph shells. Okay? Much more complex effects here. So Pagoda, what Pagoda emphasizes is really unique effects that you're not going to find in any other products. So anywhere you see Pagoda, you're going to get super unique effects. Anywhere you see UV shells, you're going to get neon effects with a lot of strobe and glitter. GeForce are all supercharged, and Triumph are professional style effects, and that goes for not just the 60-gram shells, but the cakes as well. All right, which we will do another video on all our brand new cakes, so stay tuned. Moving over to the one and only HD shells, super bright neon colors, not as bright as the UVs, but very, very nice, and a lot of peonies here. So if you like peonies, these are your shells, especially neon peonies. Very nice stuff there. Fiberglass tubes as well. Aftermath shells. This is a new shell for us this year. Last year and earlier this year, you may have seen these Reaper shells from Big. Okay? Now we got these Aftermath shells. Very similar in size and in effect intensity, but different effects. So the effects between the Aftermath shells and the Reaper shells are going to be totally different, but again, the same intensity of effect. And these are very, very cool shells, guys. If you haven't tried them, they're worth a try. Now, let me also mention that if you'd like to try out more than one shell at a time, and you don't want to buy off the shelf because maybe you want more shells than you can afford off of regular retail, we do offer wholesale on every single one of these cases here on the shelf. So you can buy a full case of any of these canister shells at a deep discount. And we're also going to do another video on our discount structure, so stay tuned for that. And another surprise is, if you like the Red Apple brand product, we do have a single case of shells, 4 boxes of 24 shells. You can get 1 Triumph, 1 UV set 1, 1 UV set 2, and 1 box of Pagoda shells. So 4 boxes in a single case. So we call that the Red Ampler? It's late, sorry. The Red Apple Sampler Pack, 60-gram shell sampler pack. All right, moving down the line here. We had these Freedom shells last year, and we brought them back this year because we got super, super positive reviews on them. This is by a company called Stargate, and this is actually a 12-pack of shells. All right, so you're going to get 6 here, 6 over here, and just like the other shells that we carry, go grab my blade over here. Fiberglass tubes. Boom. That one doesn't have as clean of a cut, but still a very high quality tube, and you probably don't want to touch this because you could get splinters from the fiberglass. But all in all, very high quality shells. And if you don't want 12, you only want 6, you step on down here and you get the Black Blast. These are the same shells as what are in the Freedom shells over there, but just 6 effects instead. And these are also neon colors. All right. Moving on, Smoke and Mirrors, a classic. We've had these year after year after year. They always sell out. This is a Brothers Smoke and Mirror shell. We get the 6-pack because the 18-pack is just the same 6 effects times 3, and they're more expensive. This way, you're gonna try them out. You're gonna love them. Fiberglass tubes, of course, and you get top performance and a big-time show. Booyah! Smoke and Mirror shells. Last stop on our 60-gram canister shell tour. The one, the only, Echo in the Ear. If you haven't tried these shells, and you like shells, and you haven't tried these, you're insane. Because as anyone who has shot these shells will tell you, they're absolutely out of control. Fiberglass tubes, 6 different effects, not as big of a commitment as some of the 24-pack shells over here. So if you're new to the 60-gram shell genre, and you want to try them out, this is where you start. You're going to set a very high bar. Nevertheless, we recommend you do it because these are ultra premium quality from Winda, Echo in the Ear shells, and of course the fiberglass tube. If it doesn't have a fiberglass tube and it's a 60-gram shell, it's not going on our shelves. All right, I'm back at the beginning of 60-gram canister shell row. Just gonna walk down this way to give you another glance here. All of these shells are exclusive to, guess, Red Apple Fireworks and Motor City Fireworks, Pahrump, Nevada, Detroit, Michigan, Metro Detroit. By the way, guys, if you're in Michigan, I think we have like 12 stores in Michigan this year. So you gotta check us out, you gotta find us. We're all over the state, and we do have a ton of other products to review. This video is limited to the 60-gram shells, but I promise you we're gonna be back really, really soon. We got a ton of new, awesome fountains. I'm gonna do a fountain review video because we really do have some very cool fountains you gotta check out. Novelties, out of control, rockets, and of course, we gotta do a video on assortments because we got our full 2015 Red Apple Fireworks assortment lineup. Stocked, locked, ready to rock. You know how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back soon with some more videos. 4th of July is coming up. We hope to see you very soon.